Welcome to Production Expert, my name is Dan Cooper. In this video, James, Ivy and I are going to be taking a look at two Focusrite Clarett interfaces. I've got this one here, the Clarett 2Pre, and James has the Clarett 8Pre. These aren't the Thunderbolt ones, no, these are USB-C ones. Now let me just give you a very quick overview of the Clarett 2Pre, and James later in the video will be having a look at the Clarett 8Pre. So on the front of the interface, we've got two combi inputs, 48V phantom power for each input, gain pot for each as well, and Focusrite say that these are air enabled. What does that mean? Well, Focusrite claim that these pre's share quite a lot of DNA with their ISA range, which is very cool. And I must say, these do sound absolutely brilliant. They get really loud, they're really clean sounding, can't fault them. On the right, we've got the monitor control, and this thing can get very, very loud. I've been using this with a small set of IK Multimedia iLoud micro monitors, and yeah, this thing nearly blew them up. And last but no means least, on the right, we've got the headphone out and headphone pot. And I must say, it's absolutely brilliant. If you guys watched our review of the Focusrite Scarlett range, you may remember me complaining a little bit about the Scarlett's headphone out. I still think it's a bit rubbish, and it's really nice that the Clarett has a powerful headphone out. I mean, this thing can get really, really loud, really good if you're going to be tracking drums or something. Now, in the back of the unit, we've got MIDI I/O, 4 analog outputs, optical ADAT in, which is a really good thing to have because no one can predict the future. You never know, one day you might want more I/O, and you could get yourself something like the Focusrite Clarett 2Pre, giving you another 8 in and out, which is nice to have that option. Let's talk about connectivity. The Claretts, when they first come out, had Thunderbolt. Now they have USB-C. And you get two cables, one being USB-C to USB-C, very useful, and another one USB-C to your standard USB. And these are compatible with USB 2 and up, which is great for people like me using an old Mac Pro, but it's good for the guys that are using newer Macs that have USB-C, because you can use this cable to bus power this device. And if you're using USB 2, like I am here, you get the power supply, which will power the device. So, very cool. Now let's talk about price. Now, this is about £350, which isn't bad value for money at all. But I do think for that sort of money, we should be getting another headphone out. We do get two headphone outs on the step up from this, the Clarett 4Pre, which is about 550 quid. So a little bit more money to spend there if you do need that. But if you're watching this video and you think 350 quid for this is maybe a little bit too much, then consider the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2. Pretty much the same amount of I/O for about a third of the price. James, tell us about the Clarett 8Pre. What do you think of that?
Yes, indeed. I have been playing with the Focusrite Clarett 8Pre USB. Sonically, it sounds exactly the same as the one Dan has, but I have a few more goodies, a few more whistles and bells, primarily in the form of I have 6 more mic pre's. Now, of course, 6 more mic pre's makes a total of 8, which means I can record an entire drum kit with my normal kit and caboodle, which is exactly what I've been doing. You'd think we plan these things, wouldn't you? So I too have been enjoying the air-enabled mic pre's. You can see here I have them all set on because, quite frankly, with air off, it sounded good. With air on, it sounded better. What's wrong with that? So I've left air on all the mic pre's. Just sounds great. The overheads came to life a bit more. The tom singular sounded great. The snare drum just got a bit more crack, a bit more depth, a bit more life to it. I really like that. Now, unlike Dan, I do have a USB-C enabled computer because recently I just forked out for one of the rather lovely new MacBook Pros, which only has USB-C. Has to be said, with all those lovely advantages of USB-C, like bus powering, things like that, it's not possible to bus power the 8Pre model. It just needs too much juice. Now, as I've said before many times, I love rack-mounted interfaces purely because I like tidy. Anyone who looks around here at the moment wouldn't necessarily think so, but I do like tidy when it comes to cabling and gear and all that sort of stuff. So, of course, I've mounted it flying in the middle of the console. But the user experience with this thing has been great. Two things that I really do like about the new line of Focusrite stuff. Not just the Clarett 8Pre USB, all the new interfaces use the same Focusrite control software. Now that's really handy if you, like me, are running a Thunderbolt Clarett 4Pre or a Red 16 line or the Clarett 8Pre on the same machine. It's very, very handy to only need to have one piece of software installed, one batch of drivers, that's it. I didn't even have to worry about reinstalling the drivers. It was all there as part of the Focusrite control software. Very neat, keeps things very simple. You don't have to keep going back and finding the latest driver for your particular piece of hardware. It's all just gonna work. The software also allows you to do lots of complex routing and monitoring through those two dedicated headphone outputs. Now I have to admit, in this case I didn't actually use the Focusrite control monitoring section. I just set the headphone outs to be a pair of analog outputs and routed everything through Pro Tools using the Pro Tools mixer. That's the way I'm used to doing things. I'm not a big fan of these kind of hardware linked GUI kind of software mixer things. They work, they have their place, but when you've got a powerful machine, I was running this thing down to 64 samples. It really wasn't an issue. And that's one of the things where I think USB-C really does score. Latency-wise, the speed is so great. Even if I was running all 18 channels, which this thing's capable of imparting into your DAW, and 18 channels out again, you're not even going to come close. What a USB 2, USB 3 or USB-C pipe is capable of transceiving. There's a good word for a demo. Audio now has got to the point where we're not limited by our transfer pipe, be that USB-C, be that Thunderbolt, be it USB 2 or USB 3. We're really not stressing out the connection protocol we use, and that's a great thing. So to price, for the Clarett 8Pre USB, you're looking around about the 700 quid mark. I've seen them slightly lower than that on certain UK audio retail websites, but about 700 quid. It's not bad money for 8 really nice preamps and the whole kit and caboodle. It just works, and that's one of the things with Focusrite. They spend a lot of time on their drivers. Their drivers are great. They're stable. They're very low latency. And they're going to give you no grief. That's a major thumbs up from me. So you can probably tell by now that I really enjoyed working with this thing. It's very simple to set up. Everything just worked exactly as I was expecting. I kind of know how the Clarett range of preamps sound. They sound really nice. I've got a Clarett 4Pre over there, the Thunderbolt version. I knew what to expect. But USB-C is the way forward. It certainly is if you like fruit-based computers. Hey, what can I say? Try it for yourself. I think you're going to like it. So to the track, there's always a track for a review. It's the law. Dan and his wife Georgie sent me over a track which was vocals, acoustic guitar, a couple of lead parts and bass. I have then put drums to that. You'll see why I made the drum choices for only one tom. I think we went for kick in and out, snare top and bottom, hat, tom, and a pair of overheads. It just worked for this particular track. Really, really cool. Really enjoyed playing it. Yeah, check it out for yourself.
I need it. I crave it. I function best when I get it. It feeds me, yet stills me. Take it away, you could kill me, junkie. Praise junkie. I am a praise junkie. Well, they made me this way.